Hello everyone, I'm Manish. In this video, I am going to generate authentication token using JWT token handler in our web API so that client request can be authenticated before accessing any resource from the web server. So in initial, client will send a request with a credential in a header to the web server, and web server will generate authentication token using some combinations and will respond a token to the client. In second time, client will send a request with a token to access any resource from the web server, and the web server will validate that token, is it right or not. If it is right, then web server will respond correct resource to the client. In this way, we have completed our authentication process. So let's move to the code. We'll write the code for this. So this is my web API I have created in SAP Business One integration part 2. I will also share the reference into the description. So this is working without any authentication process, and our task is to add the authentication process into this web API. So let me add a controller. The name I'm giving account. Basically, I have done code earlier. Let me copy and paste so that it would save our time. So this is the HTTP GET API, and the user will call this API by passing the username and password. User name and password will match. The token manager.generate token function will return a token. We'll see further, and if the username and password will not match, the response would be HTTP status code as in bad gateway, and the message would be username and password is invalid. So let me work on token manager where we will generate authentication token. So let me add a class here. The name would be token manager. So for the same, I have also created a code here. Let me copy and paste. So to remove these errors, we will have to add some references from the NuGet package. The name is system.identity model.token.jwt. So we'll add. So with system identity model.tokens.jwt, assembly has been added. Now the second one is Microsoft identity model.token. Microsoft identity model.token. So it's saying these two namespaces are already added. Let me check it out. So we can see these are defaultly added. Now let me give the references. So references I have given here, and let me explain this code. So in first line, I have created a secret variable which will generate at the runtime with the help of GUID.new function, and I'm replacing this dash with the forward slash. And in generate token class, what we are doing, we are converting that secret variable, that would be a value, some random value, into the form based 64 string, and storing it in a byte array. And the same key is being passed into symmetric security key to create a symmetric security key object. And in the third line, we are using security token descriptor class to set three main properties. The first one is subject. So in subject, we are deciding the claim identity. So for identifying that claim, we are passing two values, claim type name and value is username. Here you can see. And in third variable, third properties, we are setting the expiries of the token, which is 30 minute here. And in third parameter, third properties, signing credential, we are passing the security key, symmetric security key into this. And we are deciding here which algorithm we are going to use to make this token. And in the next line, we are using the JWT security token handler. And with the handler, we are creating the token which takes the security descriptor as a parameter, and it returns the token. And with the help of handler.write token function, we are writing the token. Basically, we are returning the same. So let me run this application and call this validate login API, which is the get type of API. So in the header, we are passing username admin as an, and password is admin here, that is hard coded for this moment. Let me debug. If the username and password is correct, it will come inside this function and will call the generate token method of the token manager class. And here you can see the secret, it is being generated at the random. So you can see so now come to the browser and you will see this is the token has generated by our code. So with the help of this method, we will validate the token, if this token is valid or not. So what basically we are doing inside this method, so we are using the JWT security token handler object to read the received token from the client. And if this is not null, we are moving forward, and then we are creating a byte array of the secret key, which we have already created here. And then we are preparing the token validation parameter. So few of properties are as here: required expiration time true, validate issuer false, validate audience false, issuer signing key. It's taking key as an parameter. So here what we are doing, we are calling a validate token method of the token handler, and which will take a token as an parameter, and parameter which we have created here, and then security token. So this will return a claim principal, and if any challenge will found, it would be handled into the authorization part. So let me first add custom authorization so that I can show you how you can call this method inside this. So I'm adding a class here. Okay, I'm going to use authorization attribute, inherit from authorization attribute. Okay, let me add some namespace using system. I authorization filter. So it's saying that we have not implemented two method of this interface. The first one is authenticate async method, and the second is the challenge async method. So let me implement. I have already written a code here. I'm going to copy this one. So these are the code for the authenticate async method, and here is the challenge async method. So let me remove these errors. To remove this error, okay, I'm going to use .NET HTTP. So we have removed this error also. So now here we have used another class. Let me add that class also. Now let me explain one by one. So what we are done here, we are receiving the context and creating a request object here, and we are creating the authorization object with the help of request.headers.authorization and checking if authorization is null. We are giving the response object as an missing authorization header. This method will create a response object while using these two parameters. The first one is the reason phrase, and the second is what request. So let me come to this. You can see here we are setting this value and returning. Similarly, if the scheme is different, not different than bearer, we will return an invalid authorization scheme as a message, reason phrase, and request object. And here authorization dot parameter, here we are passing missing token and request. And here we are, once all these are correct, then we are going to call a get principal method, as I have told you earlier, that to validate the token, is it right or not. If token is not null, then we are going to validate this principal by decrypting all the keys and few of the parameters, validation parameters. With the help of this, we are returning a principal. If the principal is not facing any challenge to validate this, then it will return okay. It will not create, it will return a resource which the client has requested. If any challenge coming, the challenge async method will call. And here look what we are doing, we are executing a sync function. Go to definition and we'll see, sorry, execute async will call to this function, and here we are calling inside this execute, and here we are creating a response object with unauthorized message. So in this way this code will complete. So look, now come to the account controller, sorry, order controller. We are going to use that custom authorization as an attribute to the this API. I have written a wrong spelling for custom authorization, so let me correct it. Now it is correct. Add to the get order API. We have add this authorization to this particular API. So once we will call, we this will authorized by the authorization process. So let me call this complete scenario through the Windows service so that you can understand. So this is my Windows service we have developed earlier in SAP Business One Integration Part 3 video, and this service is being used to call a get order API to get the list of sales order from non-SAP database. So we are going to consume the same Windows service to get a token from the web server, so that the same token can be passed through with the get order API in a header, and if the token will validate, the result will be written correctly. So let me write code. Through this API we will get a token. Change the URL because we are going to call this web API. So we are calling this API inside the SAP B1 helper. So before of this, let me call the token API. So this will return a token. This API will call and this will return a token. We will pass this token to this function, the second API. Now let me add a one line of code to pass a token to the header. Okay. So this API will call first, and then this function will return a token, and the same token will pass. Same token is being passed to the get non SAP order data from API. So once this API will be hit, the first token will be validated, and once the token is valid, then web server will return a list of orders. So let me check run this. Sorry, there is a mistake because we have valid login API into our web API account controller. Valid login. Okay, right. So I'm going to call this, run this Windows service, so that we can test comment. I'm commenting this line of code to run this Windows service without any installation. Okay, let me run. Sorry friends, I'll have to remove this code because I have uninstalled SAP Business One from my machine. So I'm going to remove this line of code so that we can test it. So now we can check. So firstly we are going to call a get token API. We'll see what is the result. So you can see we are getting this token. The same token will be passed to the second API. So we are getting some error while validating this. So you can see this response. we cannot see because we have came out from using scope. So let me check what is the error exactly. We were getting error just because of not having space here, so gives one space here, and let's run this service once again. Continue. The first, it will give us a token, you can see, with the help of this API, and the same token is being passed to the another API to validate. We are now in API. The result will return. Let me continue in API, and here you can see we are getting a list of orders. You can see as in JSON, so we are getting the JSON part. So thanks for watching. We have seen in this video how we can create a web authentication token, and same will be consumed to with our another API to validate the client authentication. Thanks for watching. Further, we will see how we can add HTTPS in our hosted API on IIS server. So thanks for now. Please like and subscribe.